Hey everyone, this is Frank Demore with the Last Chronicles of Planet Earth. And what I'd like to do is to get into some Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 17. And you'll see this in my book. When you go and you download my book, this is actually chapter 1, the beginning of chapter 1. And in there I give you some scripture about the Antichrist rising. And then I give you information of how the Antichrist will be able to take power and control the entire world. So as you can see here in this scripture, that he'll have the power so that no man might buy or sell, say he that had the mark of the name of the beast. And this is in reference to Jesus telling us that when the Antichrist comes, he's going to be able to control the economy. We know this because Jesus tells us nobody's going to be able to buy or sell anything unless they had this mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And so what I want to do is to bring you to obviously if you've never been to my website before, you can get this information by going to my website, and which is www.bibleprophecyman.com, and you'll see the scenario that I just showed you here. I put it up today, not all of it, but just a section of it, so that you'd be able to see where I'm coming from the book, and how in my book I give you a scenario by John J. Thalka, and he talks about how a bank had failed. Now understand this, when you read this, you'll find out that this is only a fictitious event, but what he does is he shows you how a global financial collapse can actually take place. Although this is a fictitious account of one bank, and you see the bank here, but in my book I give warnings that what we're seeing is only the beginning of what will come. And there is a strong possibility that the same thing will occur as it happened in I believe it was in 1931 when the Great Depression hit. Now when you scroll down, when you get to my website, you'll see that there is an article that I want you to read, because actually what this gentleman writes about in this article is almost identical to what I told you may happen in the future, using this as a premise for what may happen as one of these banks fall apart. And you'll see this global collapse. Now, when the global collapse comes, there's definitely going to be some major problems. And of course, this is the article that I'm referring to, and he talks about again, going back to 1931, and how this small bank, this little unknown Austria bank, was actually the spearhead that caused the Great Depression. Just by one bank and how it began to run. People began to run on this bank. Now, when you go over to my site, I'm going to highlight some of the things that he talks about, but I don't have enough time to read it here at this post, but you should really read this, because what he is saying and what is actually taking place in the European Union right now is almost identical to what we see in the this scenario that I put out in the first chapter of my book. And it does look like there's a good possibility that this is going to happen, considering the fact that the United States, the European Union, is so much in debt, and the banks, they just can't get a hold on the situation in the economy, and it certainly does look ominous, to say the least. So please just take the time to read this, and you'll understand a little bit more how one man can actually take over a failed system. Somebody's going to have to take it over, and that's what Jesus told us in Revelation chapter 13. He shows us how it will be done.